You want to go? You want to go? You want to go? You want to go? Thursday night, it's the big show here on Pop Rages. I am Danny Alex. We got mic level. We got audio visual. This is an audio visual presentation, ladies and gentlemen. This entire show is completely no prep. I did no prep. I don't want to say no prep. Let's just say, you usually go through. I did a whole bunch of prep on some stuff. Here's the thing. Listen up. Sit down. You got some time. Sit down. All right. Sit the frick down. I'm working on some stuff. And so literally I was working on this whole thing about sons and daughters, right? Like how many sons are there in Marvel recently, right? Not too many. Not too many boys being born to superheroes in Disneyland land. And all of a sudden, there has been a deluge of Hollywood news. I am telling you, there is so much freaking news. I have got a list of stuff. I mean, we got guys. We got Daredevil. We're gonna touch on Daredevil. Daredevil. It's a number 2 slot. Nothing. It's not. The big news. The big news is Aragorn has been recast. Jamie Dornan is going to be playing Viggo Mortensen. No, Aragorn. It's going to be playing Aragorn. Scary. Big shoes, man. Big shoes. I got some thoughts on that. I have some serious thoughts. And my thoughts may not be the same as everyone else's, okay? Okay? I tell you what everyone says this, especially there's a few people when they say they like it, you're like, oh fuck, okay, there's problems, right? They're kind of one of the things I literally try and do when I try and assess whether a casting is a good, I've been in Hollywood 20, I'm a screenwriter, I've done stuff, in front of the camera, behind the camera, been there, done that. I don't have as much experience as Tom Cruise, but pretty close. Pretty close. There's Tom Cruise news. Top Gun 3. We've got Top Gun 3 news. We've got Spaceball 2, the trailer. We've got some Evil Dead. Fucking, I love the Evil Dead Rise. Did you guys see the last one? I'm for screenwriting, I love freaking horror, okay? I love horror. But psychological horror. And when I do like the demon stuff and all that possession stuff, it's got to creep you out. It's going to make your the hairs on the back and you just got to be scared of every nook, scared of the dark, everything, right? That's a great horror. Anyway, so that is Steven Spielberg. He's talking. Top Gun 3. Boom. Boom, Top Gun 3. We got some Odyssey news. Johnny Depp. We've got some news on Johnny fucking Depp. One of the goats, guys. One of the goats, if you ask me. I might do all 3 buttons up today. Hey? I might do up all 3 buttons. Look at that. Huh? I always leave one undone. Always leave one undone. It's a Duran song. And you come on down. You see Tom Cruise, right? Look at him. Look at Tom. Hey, Tom is like, yeah, fucking A, Top Gun 3, motherfucker. That was me. That's what I was doing. Yeah, fucking A. But there's a few guys. There's a few people. They say, oh, I love the casting of Jamie Dornan for Aragorn. I'm like, okay, well, wait a sec. Okay, hold on a sec. If they think it's a great idea, this is reassess. Pump your brakes, guys. It's just like I said in the frickin' thumbnail. Pump your brakes on Jamie Dornan, okay? I got some stuff to say about Jamie Dornan as Aragorn. I have a lot of things to say. My first thought was, okay, But there's other stuff to consider, okay? So give me a piece of your attention and I will let you know that maybe if everyone's running around going, oh my God, he's so fucking good. It's the perfect casting. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is. Right? Heath Ledger surprised the hell out of everybody. What I'm saying is, I don't know if I'm an actor and you want me to play Aragorn. I know. Those are big shoes to fill. Are those shoes that I would necessarily, I would have to be 100% assured in myself to take that role and nail it, right? As the actor, right? Danny Alex, you've just been cast as Aragorn. Okay, well, okay. All right. Okay. I would be spending a lot of time practicing. Like, I would be. But what I'm saying, guys, is I don't think this is... When everyone gets a little too excited, and I was very careful not to read or watch YouTube videos, but the sprinkling that I did, I said, okay, you know what? Look, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice, okay? I'm going to be nice. Most of the YouTube people who do movies and stuff are fucking stupid, all right? They're stupid by default. They're stupid. Most of them are dumb. Most of the people that do movie online stuff, they've never written a single thing in their freaking life. They've never been in the business. They've never done it. It's just a fucking opinion. Do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? Well, you know what? I would be just as good as being an ice cream critic, because I can tell you which ice cream I like. Okay, you know what? But I'm not here to be spared. I just say pump the fucking brakes on Aragorn, okay? I don't think, and we're gonna go over some stuff here on Poprageous. Look, there's a lot of really dumb people that think he's a great choice. That frightens the hell out of me. It just frightens the hell out of me. Daredevil. Did you watch Daredevil episode 5? Spaceballs 2, guys. We got the trailer. Let's get this show going because we're gonna go piddly paddly. I literally just made that up. Guys, this is the Thursday Big Show. My name is Danny Alex. Let's begin, shall we? Let's begin. To your health. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Oh, that's what I need. If my stash was long enough, I'd flurl it into little. It's not long enough. Not even close. So, guys, we're talking. Firstly, we're doing Aragorn, right? Viggo Mortensen. I mean, some people are asking, why are they recasting Viggo Mortensen? Like, really? Like, he's in his late 60s? You want to AI him to death? Just have Viggo Mortensen AI to death? He wouldn't do it. Viggo Mortensen is such a class actor. Viggo Mortensen is one of the top dogs, even though he doesn't get the accolades that a lot of actors do in Hollywood. This guy's not going to do stuff. I think one of the only reasons he did Aragorn to start with was because his son wanted him to say, oh my God, you're going to be Aragorn? And look, he nailed it. One role. Now, this is controversial, guys. Let's talk a little bit of Lord of the Rings. This could be controversial. And you might, and when I say it, you might know where I'm coming from, okay? Ian McKellen. I probably would have recast Ian McKellen. I would have recast, if I was Andy Serkis, and it was my deal, It's like, Ian, you've had a good run. Like, dude, you're a top dog. I would have tried to recast Ian McKellen. Okay. Not because he's not good. He is freaking good. He is that good, right? He's 87, 88. It's time. It's time. Ian brings so much amazing stuff from the past. I don't know if we really Ian McKellen. I know that he loves the role. Like he is probably the one thing that keeps him alive. Really, right? The chance to play Gandalf. Do you guys know where Gandalf comes from? Do you know where? I'll do a whole show on how much. Now, understand, every Lord of the Rings lover out there, I love Lord of the Rings too, okay? It's my favorite trilogy. I think when Dune 3 comes out, Dune will become my favorite trilogy. I think so. If Denis Villeneuve nails Dune, the third one, it will become my best. Lord of the Rings is, but understand, literally the entire backdrop of Lord of the Rings is Norse mythology. I am huge into Norse mythology. If you look at the description of Odin, it is literally fucking Gandalf to the T. And then Gandalf is a dwarven name in Old Norse, which means elf with a wand. So, I don't remember my point. Well, I had a point to that. Shit. Who cares what my point was? I just made a point. So Ian McKellen is. So why would I recast Ian McKellen? It's time. He brings so much of what is and what was and what is great with the franchise. If you're recasting key characters, if you're recasting Aragorn, Frodo. What's his name is young enough to keep playing him. He's in his early 40s, I think. And he's a great Frodo. Sam, what's his name? He doesn't know what's I don't think he has to lose any weight because I think he's really plumped up. The actor, right? What's the actor say? I don't know. Of course, Andy Serkis, he's pure AI as Gollum. You know what? One thing, if you guys know Harry Potter, there's a character in Harry Potter. His name is Dobby, not Gollum, right? You know what I mean, right? If you guys watch Harry Potter, Dobby, I'm not Gollum, right? Dobby, I'm not Gollum. So, yes, I would have recast Ian McKellen. Now, JB Dornan, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the new... Oh, wait a sec. Hold on a sec. Let me get some... Like I said, honestly, I have done virtually no prep. Oh, let me do this here first. Can I do this? Of course I can. It's my show. I can do whatever I want on my computer. This is going to be a show. You know what? I've always been good at ad-libbing it, right? I remember there was times when I was a musician, and you'd have to go on stage sometimes, and sets would change, or I remember the guitar player got something happened. There's a whole new. I had to play some lead parts. I was like, fuck, I can't play lead. I did. I mean, you get drunk people are so drunk in a bar, they don't know what they're hearing. But some of the greatest. Look, if you do a live show, if you go anywhere, and you do not like ad-libbing, if you do not like the idea that, okay, you know what, I'm just going to have to pull one out of my butt here because I am don't do live. You're not going to do live. There's no scripts. There's nothing. I hope I just got a message from Windows. It's going to restart here in 2 seconds. Please don't. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, can we do this? We're going to do this right now. Right now. Lord of the Rings, Hunt for Gollum. Add to stage. Okay, guys. So, you got to think. I'm one of those guys that if you're going to have everybody jumping up and down At least that's what I saw. I don't like tainting my opinion by listening and reading to other people. So The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum sets cast Ian McKellen and Elijah Wood officially return, plus Jamie Dornan, Northern Irish actor, as Aragorn and more. Like I say, I think Elijah Wood is still young enough to play a young Frodo. I would have recast Ian McKellen. I would have. Middle-earth came to Las Vegas as part of Warner Brothers Cinecon presentation Tuesday. The studio revealed several cast members for the upcoming The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Directed by Andy Serkis, it's set to release in theaters on December 17th, 2027. Yeah, it's a year and a half away. They haven't even started principal photography yet, right? In addition to helming the film, Serkis stars Andy Serkis. It sounds like a circus, C-I-R-C. Stars as Gollum Smeagol. Ian McKellen is back as Gandalf. Elijah Wood returns as Frodo Baggins. And Lee Pace reprises his role as Thranduil. Now, he was great as Thranduil. I thought he was fantastic. He was awesome. Newcomers to the Lord of the Rings series include Kate Winslet, no comment just yet, as Marigold, and Leo Woodall as Halvard. J.B. Dornan will also play Strider, who's later revealed to be Aragorn in the original novel. The film will chronicle the search for the titular corrupted hobbit in the years leading up to the trilogy's first installment, The Fellowship of the Ring. Original trilogy screenwriters Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens are joined by Phoebe Gittins. I'm smitten over Gittins. And Artie Papa, that's a great Greek name, Papageorgiou, in adapting the J.R.R. Tolkien source material. Tolkien originally wrote Lord of the Rings trilogy in the 1950s, following the success of The Hobbit in 1937, having stolen basically all of Norse mythology as his backdrop for the story. Yeah, I added that. An entire elf language is actually Old Norse language. He took the Old Norse language and just said, okay, this is the elf language. I'm just, fuck, it's the truth, okay? Don't get mad at me. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's true. I will do a show on all of, and some of the story subjects that are literally ripped right out of the prose Edda. Aragorn's sword, Aragorn's chopped up sword, the beaten up sword? That's literally from Old Norse mythology. It is. Like I say, Lord of the Rings, the story is magnificent. I would just want more people to understand that literally most of it is elves, dwarves, all of it, even the orcs, comes from Old Norse mythology. Almost all of Norse Midgard is literal. Midgard means Middle Earth. Midgard in Scandinavian means Middle Earth. What else they got? The Lord of the Rings into the three films. Hobbit, we know that. The original Lord of the Rings films were landmark box office and technical achievements, culminatively grossing nearly $3 billion worldwide and winning 17 Academy Awards. My favorite one, guys, my favorite Lord of the Rings is still the first one, The Fellowship of the Rings. I loved it. I loved all of it. I thought it was so beautifully done. I watched The Fellowship of the Ring to feel good, to fall asleep. Right? I do. It feels good. When they meet Aragorn, I remember reading the books, and I remember the first time I'm reading the way that Tolkien wrote when they're in the pony. What's the tavern called? And literally how I remember reading it as a small kid was almost exactly how Peter Jackson did it in the movie. And I thought, as a first introduction, especially being a screenwriter, as a first introduction to a character, Aragorn it was so beautifully done. His little speech when when he gets thrown in and Aragorn, it's just the whole thing. To me, that was the movie that deserved most accolades. Easily. The third film, The Return of the King, took home Best Picture in 2004, along with record-tying 11 Oscars total. Did it deserve it? I think it did. For a 2004 film, the scope and the magnitude and the breadth of that story was epic. And given the technology they had in 2004, we talk about what we have in 2026. In 2050, we'll look back at, wow, look what they did in 20, with such limited technology in 2026. Look what they did. It really is amazing with such limited technology. So it always keeps, moving forward. Well, it was well-deserved. If anything, those 11 Oscars were indicative of the fact that those Oscars spread across the whole trilogy. It is still one of the greatest filmmaking achievements. There is more ways that Peter Jackson could have fucked that up. There is an infinite amount of ways he could have destroyed that trilogy, that story. And there's very few ways he could have nailed it. And it's kind of like the with Doctor Strange, and he goes through the 17 million different permutations of how they win. There's only one way. Tony Stark asks him, there's only one way that they win. That was well done in Endgame. That was a very well written, although usually that stuff is hard to time and make work. It worked great in Endgame. I don't think Peter Jackson has anything ever since. I mean, everything from some other movies that he's tried. What was the one after that with the cities on wheels and stuff? Oh my, it's been really. And the fact that he has asked, what's his name, Stephen Colbert, that he's asked Stephen Colbert to come to the dance. Whether he loves Lord of the Rings or not, I don't give a care. I don't care. His politics are what they are. They are intense. They are extreme. Serkis' performance as Gollum in the second and third films were breakthrough achievements in motion capture technology. They were actually having a very hard time. They had one actor, maybe two, that tried to do Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Couldn't do it. It was failing. And then Andy Serkis came in and he was given a shot. Nailed it. And he has obviously been an amazing force for the things that he has done in Hollywood since. A true talent. Andy Serkis is a true talent, period. There's no other way around it. He is. So the fact that he is, I've heard a lot of people say, well, where is there enough story in between this? That doesn't mean that you cannot create emotional and context within these characters in a time and place. Like any great screenwriter can take a limited scope of story, be faithful to the source material, because look, what you don't want to do. I'm going to use the F-bomb here, okay, guys? Can you, everyone, be sitting down? Don't fuck with the source material on Lord of the Rings, okay? Do not fuck with the source material. That's Rings of Power. Rings of Power. That's coming out this year, I think. Rings. Sonic Tectonic. Fuck, I love that name, brother. Sonic Tectonic. That is a solid name, bro. Sup, dude? I am doing fine, my friend. Welcome to my rant. We were on. We're going to continue with Lord of the Rings here, right? So we haven't even really gotten to. New Line Cinema previously returned to Middle Earth 2024, releasing the animated feature The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Have you seen that movie? I saw a little bit of it. Couldn't. It was so boring. It was so bad. Bombed. Total money loser. Adapting Tolkien's work under its own rights agreements with the author's estate, currently making the third season of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power for Amazon Prime. That will suck. Okay, how come we didn't? Again, I didn't. Why didn't they talk about Jamie Dornan? Like I say, this is a show where I was going down a whole different road of research, and so I thought, you know what? Okay, you know what? Variety, fuck you, Variety. Like nothing was about Jamie Dornan. Okay, you know what? Okay, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if I may. This is a man who has won a Razzie Award. He has won. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he has won a Razzie Award. Now, first I would know. You know what? First, I'm going to do. We're gonna take a look. He had a little thing on Conan. Hey, I hate it when the video just starts playing. Okay, let me share this. Let's just watch this. It's a minute. Now, if you're watching in the recorded part, and this Conan interview with Jamie Dornan doesn't exist when you're rewatching it, it's because I had to delete it because of copyright. So we'll see what happens. This is his appearance on. Now this was 8 years ago, but anyway, let's watch.
Now, obviously, these movies are enormously popular, and I think that you and Dakota Johnson have a lot of fun making them. But also, there are people that love to make fun of the franchise.
Yeah,
as you've heard.
Yeah, sure.
I know that the movie.
Now this is 50 Shades of Grey. This is the 50 Shades of Grey that they're talking about. And you can also watch his mannerisms. Now you got to think of him with longer hair, right? You want to sort of take the face, and now he's 8 years older, so he's more mature, which I think is, you don't want him too old because this is a kind of a, well, he's also a Numenorian, so he doesn't age very much as fast. But anyway,
he's up for a Razzie this year.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. Yeah,
3 years in a row.
Yeah. Three years in a row. He's been up for a Razzie Award. 3 years in a row.
And you have actually said you would like to attend. I mean, you were upset because you loved that the film.
Dude, if they invited me, I'd be there. Like, they just don't. I won one, and I didn't even get invited. I won the Razzie.
You won the Razzie, and you didn't get invited.
The first movie, I won Worst Actor, and Dakota and I won Worst On-Screen Couple.
Right. I completely disagree with the Razzies, but I love that you have such a sense of humor that you were willing to go. You wanted to go.
Now, one thing I will say about the Razzie Awards, guys, every movie, every actor, everything that I've ever seen with the Razzie Awards, people that have been nominated and won have very well deserved it. I can't recall anyone in the Razzie Awards who hasn't utterly deserved that nomination or victory. Okay, this guy he's been nominated 3 years running, and he actually won one. Okay, now that doesn't mean, look, it doesn't foretell, but it does say something, motherfuckers. Okay, it does say something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm so intrigued to see what it's all about. The whole whatever. Apparently you can just like pay $90 and just become a member online.
Right.
I think, an establishment that runs itself like that sort of intrigues me quite a lot. I'm kind of into the idea.
It's like AAA, yeah. Well, I know that you always wanted to have one, so the Razzie sent over. This is a Razzie.
There it is. That's the Razzie. They did. Now, the way an actor comes across, the way they are normally, it's got the Razzie. The way an actor is normally, obviously, they're an actor. They're able to take their character and magnify their personality into a place that, it's you're pretending to be another person, right? So you don't want to take who he is as a normal dude. but the Razzie does. You cannot shake off the Razzie.
Award.
Wow.
That they actually sent it over, and I know that you wanted to actually have one.
Wow, it's the lightest thing.
Yeah, they want it. It's yours if you want it.
I mean,
Clearly a lot of work.
He literally, Jamie Dornan literally looks like one of my friends. He looks a lot like one of my friends, like his mannerisms and everything.
Into that thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
That kind of sums up
Yeah.
the Razzies, I feel.
Yeah. If there were an award show for shitty awards, that would win.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. That is Jamie Dornan accepting his Razzie Award on Conan O'Brien. Like I say, yeah. Just pump the brakes a little, okay? All this, everyone's going, oh, he's fucking great. He's fucking great. He's like perfect. He's like, no, you don't fucking know. If anything scares anybody is the fact that everyone comes out and like, fucking circle jerk is like, obviously there are some pretty intense auditions with wigs and long hair and everything, right? I'm sure they're very intense auditions. And I maintain I would have recast Ian McKellen. And I know, my God, he's the best Gandalf ever. I know there's a time where an 88-year-old actor just needs to be replaced for the next generation of fresh, new content from the franchise. Okay? This is going back 27 years. Is he a great Gandalf? Amazing Gandalf. I would have recast him, okay? I would have recast him. If you're trying to create something new. Granted, Gandalf is 3,000 years old. He's a Maya. Any age will do as long as he looks kind of old, right? He is Odin, right? If you look at the description for Odin, a guy that walks around in a gray long beard, gray robes, pointy hat, carries a staff, all wise, in search of wisdom, acts like, frail, but he's a god, he's the king of gods. Gandalf is Odin, okay? I mean, literally. And then Gandalf is literally a dwarf name that means elf with a wand. That being said, I would have recast him. I would have. You're not getting anything fresh. You're not getting anything. You want some freshness. But that's me. I know a lot of people will be just so. So anyway, Jamie Dornan. If we look at, let's go back to Jamie Dornan. Let's take a look at the the Razzie Award. Where is it? The 36th Golden Raspberry Awards, or Razzies. If we take a look at 50 Shades of Grey, guys, 50 Shades of Grey received the most awards, winning Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Actress, Worst Screen Combo, Worst Screenplay. Fantastic Four. Now, that was the Fantastic Four with, what's his name? Michael B. Jordan, right? Remember, have you guys seen that one? That Fantastic Four was abysmal. It was even worse than Fantastic Four First Steps. Which is pretty hard to do. Fantastic Four tied for the Worst Picture, also receiving Worst Director, Worst Makeup, Ripoff or Sequel. Eddie Redmayne received Worst Supporting Actor for Jupiter Ascending. Kaylee Cuckoo received Worst Supporting Actress for Alvin and the Chipmunks. How do you get really? Where is Donald Trump? Wait a sec. The 7 Razzie. The winners were announced via parody sketches. One of them was performed by an impersonation of Donald Trump. Really? Where is There he is, Jamie Dornan. Where's the actor? Winner. And where's Screen Combo? There they are. 50 Shades of Grey. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new Aragorn. 50 Shades of Grey. A little bit of French kissing. Hope there's no French kissing. I hope. Jeez. I hope Dakota. Oh my God. I hope Dakota Johnson's not in it. Do they come as a team? Is Dakota Johnson in it? Anyway, there you go. Jamie Dornan has won Razzies, okay? Every Razzie that I have seen is pretty much, for the most part. Look at the movies that are on the 50 Shades of Grey, Jupiter Ascending. Do you guys watch Jupiter Ascending? Are you fucking kidding me? Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, Pixels, Fantastic Four. That was remember the 2000, that was Alvin and the Chipmunks, Mordecai. Remember Mordecai? Ooh, the Cobbler Hot Tub Time Machine, the Human Centipede 3. Oh my God. I'm not even Pan the Wedding. Look, this is an eclectic set of movies that our good friend Jamie Dornan and Dakota. There he is, Jamie Dornan, worst actor winner, worst screen combo co-winner. This is Aragorn. Now, like I said, I made it a point of not going to too many of any place to actually hear, but the headlines were like, it was like a circle jerk. It was like everyone's so happy about sitting around, just like, really? That it makes me even more concerned, especially with some of the people. Especially with some of the people that are on YouTube that make comments about movies, who are about as dumb can get, who've got as much experience in movies, which basically zero. Basically zero. I'm not going to name any names. John Campea. Grace Randolph. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to sit here and name names or anything. There's a few people. There's a few more, actually. There's a few more. Actually, I'm not even sure what John Campea said. I think when I scuttled through, I thought I saw him. Whatever. I just pump your brakes on this guy. I am more concerned than probably most people are. However, like I said, I didn't see the auditions, so I don't know. Heath Ledger is the best example of being proved wrong. But the difference there is no one believes in Heath Ledger, and he kicked everyone's ass. In this case, there's way too many people. To me, it's like Robert Pattinson as Batman. Oh wow, he was Ben Affleck was absolutely tarred and feathered and he actually turned out to be my favorite Batman. That's my point, ladies and gentlemen. That's my point. I don't think I share most people's enthusiasm for Jamie Dornan. I didn't see the auditions. I don't know. He is a Razzie Award winner, and you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it at that. We'll see what happens. More news will come out, so we'll see what happens. There you go. Boom, boom, and boom. Can we have some fun? I'm going to close that off. I'm going to close that off. There we go. Right there. Okay, so Spaceballs 2. But about 10 days ago, we covered Spaceballs 2, that it's coming out April 23rd next year, about a year from now. So they made this little fun skit about there being a trailer. But look, so I want to play this. There's a lot of news we got Top Gun 3, we got the Odyssey news, we got Johnny Depp, Steven Spielberg, Evil Dead. We got so much news we got to get to. So we got to rifle through this stuff. Not too fast because we got to talk about it, right? But ladies and gentlemen, this is Spaceballs 2. Let me set this up. There we go. Add the stage. Again, in the recorded side, if you're watching this and this doesn't exist on the recorded side, I had to delete it because we were hit with copyright. My apologies. My apologies.
Nearly 40 years ago, a promise was made.
God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2. The search for more money. Money, you know?
Hold it. Wait a minute. It's me, Mel Brooks.
Oh my God. Does he look? I remember him. Like I was in my early 20s when I remember watching his movies. Wow. My God. You know what? Anyway.
I have a major announcement. Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, is not going to be the title of this movie. Why not? Because after all these years, I found the money. There it is, the money.
There you go. He's got the money. So it's not going to be Spaceballs in Search of the Dough.
It was in my basement. But everywhere I go, people say, Mel, where's the new Spaceballs? When are you going to make the new Spaceballs? When are you going to make...
Man, he's got a Jewish nose, eh? Hey, does he got a Jewish nose, right? I mean, that is a Jewish nose. I mean, it is. I'm sorry.
The new one. Well, we did it. And the title is...
I love him.
Spaceballs. The new one. It's just like the old one, but it's newer. That's why it's called the new one. There you have it. I'll see you at the movies. And may the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, mother. Yeah, love it. I love it. I love it. That's the trailer right there. Spaceballs 2, the new one. "99 years old. 99 years old, my friends. Man, wish John Candy was still alive for this. Yeah. I mean, I watched it about 2 weeks ago. Actually, right after, a couple days after we did the, when we had the news for Spaceballs 2, I thought, it wasn't the same as I remember it, but Mel Brooks, 99 years old, and he's going strong. Like, he looked good for 99. 99. To Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks, my friend, I salute your ass. I do. Fucking A, brother. Fuck. By the way, this YouTube program is for entertainment purposes only. So please, it's not education. We're not. You know what? I may be mean to some people once in a while, but it's all in good fun. And fuck them. If they don't like it, fuck them. Right? I don't care. I don't even have a reputation to ruin. Right? That's a great thing about me. There's no reputation. As a matter of fact, I feel like I'm building one when I go and Mel Brooks, guys. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. So anyway, so there you go, guys. That is wait, scratch that. That is just a I'll touch on Daredevil. Okay, I'm going to touch on Daredevil. Guys, have you been watching Daredevil? Did you watch season 2, episode 5? I don't know if you it's just been getting worse. It's just becoming like the girls. So basically, we went Foggy's back. There's been talk about Foggy coming back, but it's all about going back into the past. And this is something to do with reconciling Daredevil's motivations or something. Now, the biggest takeaway, can I just say, the biggest takeaway, every show since season 2 has begun, I have made my opinion well documented that I feel Vincent D'Onofrio is a shitty kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio is a shitty kingpin. Do you know who Kingpin is? Obviously, he doesn't. So I was watching. I was watching episode 5, and I'm watching the Kingpin. Guys, do you know who Kingpin is? Do you know the character Kingpin? And I'm watching D'Onofrio. Now, look, a lot of this is based on the direction from the director, right? But I'm thinking, okay, we've got a spoiler alert, spoilers. Okay, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to learn what's, Vanessa dies. We think she dies, but she doesn't die. But then she dies. And Kingpin turns into what I like to call whoa. Here we go. What I like to call SpongeBob Kingpin. There's your Kingpin, ladies and gentlemen, right there. SpongeBob Kingpin. Very, very intimidating. SpongeBob Kingpin. I was gonna send 2 or 3 of my 4-year-old nephews over there to kick his ass. You little fucking baby. Are you kidding me? This is. I just want to keep this picture up the whole freaking show. That's what I want to do. That is your Kingpin, ladies and gentlemen. SpongeBob. I will. I will, from time to time, reintroduce this image over the next. There's 5 episodes left. This is, to me, man up, man up. This is the de facto image that I have of Kingpin. You can clap. You can applaud. SpongeBob Kingpin. The great the Vander, my friends in the house. The original Spaceballs was a fast watch. A lot, right? It was a fast watch. No time wasted. Mel Brooks is a testament to the healing power of laughter. It is proven. You said it right there, Vander. It is proven. Even if you sit there and laugh by yourself, it is such a huge benefit to your endocrine system. All the chemicals, everything that gets released into your system. We all have to watch more comedy. I guess that's why you watch Marvel, right? If you want to watch it, you got to watch Daredevil, right? It's not good. It's not turning good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not, but it's on a slope down. It's not good. This was an episode that doesn't have to exist. It's some sort of, it feels to me like this is some sort of a episode that wants to try and pay homage to the old Netflix series. It has no sense of moving the story forward, except for trying to, in some way, I don't know. It was a confusing episode. It held my attention about as much as, well, I'm kind of like a dog, so most things hold my attention. It's just the way I roll, my friends. It's just the way I roll. So that is Spaceballs. Can I? Okay. You know what? That is, yeah. There's so many things. Where do we go next? Okay, let me just do a little bit of home, a little bit of okay, yeah. There we go. Excuse me. Daredevil's done. Aragorn is done. Spaceballs 2 is done. What do we want next, guys? I think next we're doing Top Gun 3, my friends. Top Gun 3. Where is it? I love Top Gun. I love Top as a screenwriter, guys. I absolutely loved how incredibly well that they wrote Top Gun Maverick from a screenwriting perspective. There were two antagonists. The main antagonist was the whole idea of let me get this Top Gun 3. Let me get this set up here. Was the mission, right? The antagonist. Now, that being the if a mission is the antagonist, then there are other parts that form the pieces that create that to be the antagonist, and that was basically all the people that are sort of Tom Cruise basically had to prove that he was capable, that he was the one to do the mission, but also the Navy itself against him. And I think one of the most iconic images was when it was going to do the mission, and he was on the ship, and the thing rises, and there he is standing. Maverick is standing. I mean, it was so impactful in so many ways. This is great. This is Tom Cruise great movie making. It really is. We can get rid of SpongeBob Kingpin doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave the stage. He doesn't want to leave. So Top Gun 3 officially in the works. Tom Cruise is returning for Top Gun 3. I'll guarantee you, it's not like someone just turned around and said, Hey Tom, we've got Top Gun 3. Hold on a sec here. You know what? Something. Let me fix something here. I want to change something. I had to change this from before. There we go. That's better. There we go. I'll guarantee, if you don't think Tom Cruise was absolutely integral, Tom Cruise is the guy that says yes or no, right? He's the guy. They make it sound like, oh, hey, Tom Cruise, we're doing Top Gun 3. You want to be a part of it? Tom Cruise is the CEO and president of freaking Top Gun. Okay? There's no one that's... He is the chairman CEO. Deal with it. He decides if there's going to be a Top Gun 3. Tom Cruise. Not David Ellison. Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday. I fully endorse, I don't endorse drinking, but I do endorse red wine. A little bit, just enough. Not if you're of age. If you're of age. A little bit. Tom Cruise is Top Gun. And look, the movies that he's associated with, he is the chairman CEO. To think that Tom Cruise is anything other than that, you know what, whoever gets to write the movie, who gets to approve the script, it's not David Ellison. It's Tom Cruise. If Tom Cruise doesn't like something, doesn't want something, in any of his movies, it does not happen. It's not like Tom Cruise like skips along. Okay, I guess, am I cast in the part? No, motherfucker. Everybody else is cast in a Tom Cruise movie. That's the way it works. Period. Tom Cruise is returning for Top Gun 3. Paramount announced during its Cinecon presentation in Las Vegas, as is producer Jerry Bruckheimer. I'm not going to say it. The sequel to director Joseph Kosinski's 2022 blockbuster Top Gun Maverick was first revealed to be in the works back in 2024. Look, when a movie goes out, it does 1.6 billion. You think there's not a sequel in the works? Of course there is. Tom Cruise is what? He's in his early 60s. He wants to do as many great movies as he can to solidify his legacy, right? He's young enough that he can still act like a 25-year-old, right? He's still running around. He's young enough. Look at Sylvester Stallone. He's coming back to do Rambo. He's almost 80. We got a lot of movies coming from Tom Cruise. A lot. Top Gun Maverick became a blockbuster hit when many theaters were still shuttered during the COVID-19 pandemic. It grossed $1.5 billion at the global box office from a $170 million budget, giving movie theaters the jolt they needed when times were tough. I remember Steven Spielberg and that little caption that they heard, you saved the movie business. Well, you did for that year. The movie business is constantly shooting itself in the foot. No, actually, the movie business doesn't shoot itself in the foot. It shoots itself in the frickin' abdomen. You want to keep coming out with shit stories, forcing crap upon us, forcing gay stuff, transgender, forcing all this other stuff. Look, there's a place for it, okay? I don't want hetero stuff I don't need to have a love story where a love story doesn't need to exist, okay? I don't care if it's gay, hetero, bi, bestial, whatever the frick it is. Just keep it out of the fucking movie, okay? If I hurt your feelings, leave, okay? Leave! I'm not here to be anyone's freaking babysitter, motherfucker. Ooh. I didn't. I forget. We're on Facebook too. Facebook doesn't like swearing as much, but I think we might be late enough in the broadcast. It might be okay. I don't know, we'll see. What do I care? Like, seriously, do I care? Is this a face that looks like it cares? Yeah. Cruise returned for Maverick 36 years after he debuted his hotshot pilot. Now, Tom Cruise and I are almost the same age. He is, I think, 3 years older than I am. 3 or 4 years older. I'm 58. Is he 62? I think he's 4 years older than I am. He's 62. I'm 58. I think something like that. His little Pete Maverick Mitchell went back to the famous flight school to teach a new batch of pilots how to successfully run a dangerous mission. He also crossed paths with Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, Miles Teller, the son of his best friend, Pete Goose Bradshaw, who died in the first movie. And that was from a screenwriting perspective, that was a great storyline. Okay, that was just great screenwriting. Guys, watch Top Gun Maverick again. Or what they call Top Gun 2. From a screenwriting perspective, it's brilliant. Every scene means something. I always go back to Tombstone. If you want to watch a great movie where every scene is magnificent, every scene has meaning, every scene ups the ante in the tension, in the stakes, you watch Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer and Bill Paxton. I mean, the casting in that one is fucking brilliant. Okay. Highly recommend Tombstone. Where are we here? Together, they're able to complete the mission with their fellow trainees and return home in one piece. Alongside Cruise and Teller, the Maverick cast had several up-and-coming stars. Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell's got a great future. He's just got to he's got to stop doing shit movies, okay? That's what he's got to, Running Man? There was another one he just did that was just, oh, dude. Who the hell is Forrest? Glenn Powell, you want a good manager? Give me a call. Bro, Glenn. Louis Pullman, Monica Barbaro, Danny Ramirez, Jay Ellis. There's going to be a whole bunch of names I'm going to read off here. Greg Tarzan Davis and Manny Jacinto all played new pilots. Their fellow cast members included Jennifer Connelly, and she did really good. Right? She did really good. There was some John Hamm. Dear motherfucker, John Hamm. John Hamm is good in everything he does. You guys see John Hamm in Landman? Doesn't matter what it is. John Hamm. John frickin' Hamm. Oh, geez. I just read ahead one sentence. I'm going to drink again. Charles Parnell, ladies and gentlemen, Ed frickin' Harris. There is nothing Ed Harris does that is bad. I will point you to Apollo 13 and that beautiful mind. Ed Harris is amazing, even when it's crap, right? In Westworld. It's always worth watching Ed Harris. And Bashir Salahuddin, it also marked the final role for Cruise's original Top Gun co-star, Val Kilmer. That was Tom Cruise. Actually set that up with Val Kilmer, that whole subplot, which was fucking brilliant. Brilliant. For a guy like Val Kilmer, for everything that he went through, of course, he's not with us anymore. For imagine if the fact that Val Kilmer has left us without that amazing emotional one-on-one final scene between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, especially after you watch the first Top Gun, you realize how powerful this final scene was, and how in the position that they put Val Kilmer in the movie, Iceman, right? Iceman Kaczynski, and Kilmer died last year. It just shows you guys, it really does show you Tom Cruise is a fucking hell of a guy. You know what? I'm going to do this one more time. I know it's 3 times, 3 cheers to Tom Cruise. To Tom Cruise. Fucking A. Tom Cruise. Love it, right? Do I look close? Oh, hold on. I know what I got. Hold on. I gotta get in costume. Not bad, right? Not bad, right? Give me a laugh. Oh. Oh. It's the great thing when you've got no reputation, doing this shit, there's nothing that can hurt you, right? I got no reputation to hurt. No reputation. I was going to do this bit with John Campea on his, I will do it maybe on Saturday or next Tuesday, on how he was calling the Fantastic Four First Steps. John Campea, he called peak Marvel. Peak Marvel. Peak Marvel. John Campea called, what a fucking idiot. I don't call many people. Actually, I do. Maybe I do call a few people names. I mean, fuck. This is for entertainment purposes only. So fucking relax. Settle down. I mean, John Campea, peak Marvel First Steps, Fantastic Four First Steps, peak Marvel. We'll get to it one day. Okay. All right, there we go. That is, my friends, Tom Cruise, Top Gun 3. Fucking awesome. Where do we want to go? There's so much news. You know what? I really like this. We did this already, didn't we? Brooks didn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we did Spaceballs, right? We did Spaceballs. Steven Spielberg warns Hollywood this is poignant. What a great word. Try and spell poignant, right? It's Poignant, right? You would probably think, how do you spell poignant? Well, was it P-O-Y? That is SpongeBob Kingpin. You guys are watching Daredevil, you'll know exactly what I mean. That is SpongeBob Kingpin. Steven Spielberg warns Hollywood must invest in original stories or movies will run out of gas. Well, or else, I get a lot of gas watching some of the shit they put out. So, depends the way you look at it, Steven. Can I call you Steven or Steve? A lot of these movies give me gas. Debuts eerie new Disclosure Day trailer at Comic-Con. I tried to play the Disclosure Day trailer once. You know what, Steven, if you would allow people like me to play your stupid trailer without fucking copywriting, maybe you'd get more exposure, right? Maybe you'd get more freaking exposure. Like you play like a 2-3 second clip of Disclosure Day. Boom. Your entire 3-hour video is copyrighted. Meaning all the revenue goes to him for a 3-second clip. Fuck you. Ooh, not supposed to swear. I'm not gonna. Fluck. I said fluck you. Fluck. They're here. Steven Spielberg premiered a new trailer at CinemaCon on Wednesday for Disclosure Day. His return to summer blockbuster filmmaking. We don't know that. Return to summer blockbuster filmmaking. We don't know if it's a blockbuster. After a decade mostly spent making personal dramas. And it was a bad 10 years, Spielberg. The Fabelmans, West Side Story. The film's plot has been shrouded in secrecy, but it involves visitors from another planet. Yeah, we got that. And is a vast government's conspiracy to cover up their arrival. It's genre that has been good to Spielberg over the years. Close Encounter of the Third Kind was a great movie. That was 1978. That was when everything was erupting, right? That was when all of sci-fi. I'm 58, right? I was born in 1967. So especially when my consciousness started to remember, I remember watching Star Trek in 1973-74. Obviously the original series, obviously. And then Space 1999, and then Star Wars came out. I was about 10 years old when Star Wars came out. Saw it in the theaters. Fantastic. And then Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There was E.T. This was the explosion of sci-fi. And Steven Spielberg had a lot to do with it. Now, I really do. He is a legend. Steven Spielberg is a legend director. And he is so right. He is so right when he says that Hollywood must original stories. If Hollywood doesn't premise its entire existence on original stories, and I don't mean like Doomsday. Original stories, something that Hollywood has always been good at. It is no longer good at. It is shit at doing original stories. Why? Hey, you know what? Netflix had its earnings out after the release, after market close in the stock market, had its earnings out, and Reed Hastings is not. He is stepping down as chairman. He is leaving the company. Reed Hastings is leaving Netflix. The stock was down over 10%. Not because of that, because of the forward guidance and everything like that. It's not good. It's not good. Even at Netflix, things are not looking good. If you look at the stock chart, not a great stock chart. It's been a genre that has been good to Spielberg over the years, inspiring classics such as E.T., The Extraterrestrial, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and hits like his remake of War of the Worlds. I liked War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. I did. I enjoy watching that even like on a Sunday afternoon or whatever. It's like it pops on. It's like, yeah, I'll watch War of the Worlds, right? Absolutely. I thought that was wasn't a bad movie. Wasn't a bad movie. But this is, I don't know when Disclosure Day is coming out. It's going to be coming out soon. But he is absolutely right. The key sentence, the key phrase, Steven Spielberg warns Hollywood must invest in original stories or movies will run out of gas. Fast and Furious 27. Like, how many freaking Fast and Furiouses do we need? It's just a question. It's just a question. Where do we go? You know what? There's so much news. I love it because when there's this kind of news, like the GOAT. Who are some of the GOATs in the acting business, right? Who do you think of? Like some of the real GOATs of acting in Hollywood. I'll tell you who you think of. SpongeBob Kingpin. That's who I think of. Daredevil episode 5. SpongeBob Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio is, look, I would make a better Kingpin than Vincent D'Onofrio. Move on. Like, wow. Like, you don't see it. You don't see it. And look, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Whatever. My opinion is Vincent D'Onofrio sucks as SpongeBob Kingpin. But let's get who is the GOAT? Who's one of the great GOATs of all time? Of course, my friends, Johnny Depp. Johnny fucking Depp. This is a man. Can I put this into context? Let me put this into context. It's a real context. And for all the guys out there, for the women, maybe you're going to understand this as well. The Me Too movement, and I'll be as blunt as I can. The Me Too movement has been the stupidest fucking movement in the history of humankind. The stupidest, most asinine, dumbass, backass. So literally on Tuesday, we just did it. Did you see the whole thing where, Katy Perry was brushing her muffin on what's her face? Right on her face, right on her nose? Rose, what's her name again? I totally forgot her name. So here you got two women. Which one do you believe? Because they're both fucking right. Neither one of them can be wrong because they're both strong women, and their women are always right. They're always right. Never wrong. They're never fucking wrong. Me too. Fuck you. Me too. That's the new movement. Can I say it? Hey, me too. Fuck you. Don't be stupid. Be real. This is not rocket science. I'm not saying anything that no one else could frickin' disagree with me on. 90% of women have to agree with me. You think women are always right? You're as fucking stupid as the day is long. And I am being nice when I say this, okay? I'm being nice. Johnny Depp is a freaking god when it comes to everybody who fought this entire notion that women were always right. Guys, think about it. Give Johnny Depp the absolute credit for standing in there. If you've been an employer in California and have had some bullshit lawsuit who has destroyed your entire business because of one person who was utterly lied to, because in California you can do that. And the whole Me Too movement saw thousands of businesses get wiped out because of asinine law, especially in California. You think I'm lying? Oh, I've known people. And Johnny Depp, he was the poster boy, right? He was the poster boy that got absolutely freaking... You would think someone as powerful as Johnny Depp couldn't be susceptible to the BS of the Me Too movement? Fuck you, Me Too. Fuck you, Me Too. Women are always right. Fuck, what a... Really? Could you imagine if our justice system worked that way? Holy fucking right. Thank God for Johnny Depp and standing up to Amber Heard, because I think it literally changed things. It swung things back into perspective. Honestly, that's the way I see it, guys. Johnny Depp does not get enough thumbs up, kudos, not just from men, from women, who all look for a fair world for all people, regardless of sex, color, race, height, weight, whatever the fuck it is, right? The star, who has largely been outside of the spotlight since his heated divorce trial with Amber Heard, made an appearance during Paramount's presentation. There he is, looking as good as ever, motherfucker. Looking as good as ever. Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp. Okay by Daddy Alex. Okay. Take that to the bank. Me Too, fuck you. Me Too? Fuck you. Johnny Depp appears to be back. Yes. The star, who has largely been working outside a mainstream Hollywood system in recent years, took the stage during Paramount's CinemaCon presentation on Thursday. That's today, to debut his new movie. I'm going to watch this every year. Every year. Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Depp walked out to Alex Warren's hit Ordinary in his signature hat, sunglasses, and scarves, receiving a hearty applause from the room of theater owners and distributors as he thanked them for the support and told them he loved him. Look, guys, Johnny Depp is a class freaking act. Johnny Depp he's a goat. Deal with it. He's a goat. He explained he has been obsessed with A Christmas Carol since I was a little kid. He's like, I look forward to it. I hope it's 2026. I don't know how it can be. It's probably going to be 2027. And when he was first approached, his immediate thought was, no one could match what Reginald Owen has done in the original movies in the 1930s. He's a traditionalist, right? That's what Johnny Depp is. But that's no reason not to attempt something. Depp continued, commending director T. West for doing something very special. I was sort of just around for laughs. The star then showed off some footage as Depp appears unrecognizable and reminiscent of Jim Carrey's character in Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. He's gone gray with a sharp nose and older features, and yet still some of that Jack Sparrow swagger. The classic story unfurls with... I forgot Hollywood Reporter does that. Every time you try and highlight something, it just brings you to the top of the page. With Scrooge throwing out plenty of humbugs and seeking to be left alone until he's haunted by the three spirits that make him change his ways. The cast includes Andrea Riseborough as the ghost of Christmas Past, Trammell Tillman as the ghost of Christmas Present, Ian McKellen, great role. I've said earlier in the broadcast, I think I would have recast Gandalf. It's time. It's just time. As Jacob Marley and Rupert Grint as Bob Cratchit. Daisy Ridley, Sam Claflin, and we go, the names, yada, yada, yada. So it is this year. Awesome. Hitting theaters November 13th, this project alongside Lionsgate. Hold on one second. I got a little bit hiccups. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, drink lots of water, kids. Drink lots of water. I haven't drank enough water today. Big November 13th. This year, it's this year's Christmas. I'm gonna go see it, guys. Ebenezer. Along with Lionsgate's upcoming Day Drinker, Mark Depp's first foray into Hollywood studio fare since 2018, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I thought he was fantastic. We have 8 years, guys. This whole Amber Heard thing has, who knows what kind of amazing movies we could have had from Johnny Depp. That's the crime. Me Too, fuck you. Go pound sand, that whole stupid Me Too movement. Believe anything a woman says? Are you stupid? Who do you believe? What's her name? Amber Rose? What's her name? Ruby Rose. Thank you. Who do you believe? Ruby Rose or Katy Perry? They're both women. They're both right. They're always right. Women are always right. Always right. Me too. Always believe women. Fuck you. Like, that's how I feel about it. Don't be so stupid as to shove that crap down our throats. And I say that because I know 80, 90% of women will agree. 99% of men will agree. And that comes from Hollywood. That BS comes from Hollywood. So take it and pound sand. The actor was dropped from the next film, right? Because of Amber Heard. The actor was dropped from the next film in that Warner Bros. Franchise after negative headlines amid his split from Amber Heard after her lies. After she freaking lied. She took all this, you know the story. Her lies, the entire Me Too movement destroyed Johnny Depp's reputation. That's a matter of fact. So take your Me Too and shove it where your sun don't shine. Like it's just a dose of reality, mofo. That I say with a smile. Depp recently shifted his attention to non-U.S. movies and appeared in a period piece, Jean de Barry, at the movie's premiered at Cannes in 2023. He was asked about Hollywood's view of him, which he replied, "I don't feel boycotted because I don't think about Hollywood." Bro, Johnny, Hollywood thinks about you. I don't feel much further need for Hollywood. I don't know about you. Absolutely. I don't feel much further need for Hollywood. I don't know about you. Yes, brother. Yes. Johnny. Johnny Depp, my friends. Johnny Depp, the GOAT. One of the GOATs. We've had a couple of GOATs. We've had Tom Cruise, Top Gun 3. We've November 13th this year, guys. Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, starring Johnny Depp. What a treat. What an absolute freaking treat that is going to be. Yes. So there's a lot of, oh, it was the Vander, my friend. Senor C, what you got to say, my friend? I got it over here. Looking as good as ever, Johnny Depp looks like the living result of a desiccated scarecrow mating with a box of toothpicks. Look, man, come on, Vander, come on. You're really. When Johnny Depp dumped Amber Heard, he really should have told her to scat. Yes, he should have. Scat. Amber Heard, scat. Johnny Depp to me is the GOAT. If he looks... Mel... Scat. Johnny Depp is the GOAT. Tom Cruise is the GOAT. Me Too can pound sand. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a lot of so much news. Let me get our screen organized. Yep. Got it. So we got Johnny Depp done. Oh, we got a little bit more Avengers news. I want to do the Odyssey. Can we do the Odyssey, guys? Let's do. Let me just wait. Oh, wait, can I? That is SpongeBob Kingpin. SpongeBob Kingpin. We've seen him in Daredevil, Born Again, episode 5. The whiny piney baby. It's time to recast Kingpin. Seriously, it is bad. D'Onofrio is bad. And part of it is direction. If I was the director, leave it at that. So what I want to do next here, guys, this is big. This is huge. If you miss this, you're dumb. You're dumb. There we go. The Odyssey stunned CinemaCon with intense Trojan horse attack footage. Christopher Nolan says the movie was an absolute nightmare to film in all the right ways. I looked everywhere for some sort of any sort of footage I could find. I mean, I looked to every little dark nook and cranny of the internet. Couldn't find it. This might be a good movie. Of course, all the controversy dealing with Helen of Troy and Lupita, right? Of the casting. That is the. We'll see what happens. The patron saint of movie theaters has returned to CinemaCon, the exhibition industry's annual trade show, and this is coming this year, guys. Like, there are some good movies coming out, even though 2026 has been the year of the bomb. There have been almost every movie has lost money, almost every single one. Christopher Nolan made his way to Las Vegas to talk up the Odyssey, his historical drama based on Homer's Greek epic. Not that he needs to convince exhibitors to schedule any of his films. Movie theater operators adore Nolan because he's the rare director who can get people to the big screen based on his name alone. But of course, that name alone is always earned, right? If you are like Denis Villeneuve is getting Denis Villeneuve is probably 15 years behind, younger than Christopher Nolan. If Dune 3 nails it now, and he is doing James Bond, right? Denis Villeneuve's doing. If he nails these things, he's going to be that sort of Christopher Nolan level of box office draw. Naturally, he was greeted with a standing ovation as he walked on stage at the Coliseum. I would stand and clap for, even though, look, I made it very clear I did not like the Batman trilogy. I didn't. I think it's grossly overrated, incredibly overrated. But I would stand and clap for him because he is an amazing filmmaker. He's an amazing screenwriter. He rocks ass. An introvert, the filmmaker tried to deflect the attention, joking that he's just happy that he's not following Steven Spielberg. During Universal's presentation to exhibitors, Spielberg's new film Disclosure Day was teased later in the afternoon. He got right to the point, addressing his decision to adapt the original epic for today's audiences. Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, and from what I've seen, guys, Matt Damon might surprise a lot of people as to his performance in as Odysseus. He might surprise a lot of people in this movie. As the King of Ithaca and the story, or as the King of Ithaca, Matt Damon stars as Odysseus, the King of Ithaca, and the story chronicles his long and perilous return home after the Trojan War. I mean, think about this, guys. This is a story that is 3,000 years old. This is a classic story. This is how stories in their purest form, the Odyssey in its purest form, are intended to be written, not the bullshit that comes out of Hollywood today. Not the Star Wars crap, not the Marvel crap, not the things that have been done with Star Trek. Thanks, Alex Kurtzman. All this garbage, this repetitive bullshit of political messaging that has been inserted into our movies. This is, if anyone is going to take the Odyssey and make it a clean, beautiful movie in the spirit that it was a three millennia old movie story, it's going to be Christopher Nolan. Think about that. How many generations of human beings have existed since this story was written? This is an epic tale of human historical proportions, and I hope he nails it. There could be no better director than Christopher Nolan to try and nail this classic. It will be $1 billion movie. As a matter of fact, if he nails this thing, you're looking at easily $1.5 billion. I don't know if the cinema in its current situation, if it's able to create a $2 billion movie anymore. People just can't afford it. People would rather stay at home and watch streaming. Why the Odyssey? The Odyssey is a story that has fascinated generations after, 3,000 years. I took a lot of antiquity. When I was in university, I was an English major. I took a lot of antiquity. I love the Greek culture, especially from Alexander the Great. The Hellenistic period. That is the foundation of Western civilization. Alexander the Great formed the basis for all of Western civilization. Because after Alexander died, we had the Hellenistic period. And basically Rome took all those things that was Greece, because the Greeks couldn't, it was Alexander the Great that actually unified the entire, Greek culture. The Greeks could never unify. It was always city-states. Rome took what was best of Greece, unified it, and it became Rome. It was still the basis of Rome was Greek culture. Why the Odyssey? The Odyssey is a story that has fascinated generation after generation for 3,000 years. Think about that. A story that was written 3,000 years ago, and 3 millennia later, we're still talking about it. We're now making a movie about a story that was written 3,000 years ago. And if you don't understand the significance of what I just said, you do not understand human history and the absolute epic scale of the power of story. Story is powerful, absolutely powerful, my friends. Powerful. And it's what Hollywood has lost. Hollywood has lost the power of story. That's what it's lost. The power of story. Is the goat. John made the goats run for cover. Bah, bah. Nolan, I've been told the Prestige is Nolan's best. I still need to get that off my bucket list. What's your fave? You know what? I need to get that off my bucket list as well. Now, my favorite Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna say it was Oppenheimer. And why I say Oppenheimer? I say it as a screenwriter. As a screenwriter, when you're writing things that also include action, you work your way up to these action sequences, right? Because like even the Odyssey is it works its way up, but you need to do it in a way that is so deep and thoughtful, so that when the action sequence happens, it just magnifies a payoff, right? It's a payoff within a payoff. Oppenheimer, the brilliance of Oppenheimer. It was a story based on dialogue. There's no big action sequences. And so from a screenwriter perspective, I look at Oppenheimer and go, wow, he wrote this movie. I wonder when he announced that he was doing a movie about Oppenheimer, as a screenwriter, you think to yourself, okay, where are you going to take this thing? Now, being a screenwriter, obviously I would have gone through the depths of research to understand exactly what Oppenheimer did, yada yada. So there's a process that happens as a screenwriter that allows yourself to be. And being a screenwriter, I've won hundreds of awards around the world in film festivals. My style of screenwriting is very similar to Christopher Nolan. Depth, emotionality, understanding the protagonist, understanding the antagonist, understanding the correlation between the two. So I got to stick to Oppenheimer. I think that is his most brilliant movies to date. Am I forgetting one? Let me. You know what? Let me do this here. Actually, Chris, this is why I love chat. Because it brings up IMDb. Let's look at Christopher Nolan. Let's look at the movie he has done. Christopher Nolan. Let's look at his filmography, shall we? Oppenheimer, upcoming. Yeah, he's very. You look at some producers and directors; they've got like 30 movies up and coming, right? When Christopher Nolan does a movie, he does that movie. Oppenheimer. Jack Snyder's Justice League? He was the executive producer? Fuck, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. Tenet, and he even admitted in Tenet that he was literally not directly understanding the science and how the logic of the science that he was trying to put through in Tenet. And so he kind of had to wing it in some places that was kind of, and it felt that way. I'm a science guy. My main channel is science, Dimension Zero. I'm a science nerd. I don't know if I look like a science nerd, but that's what I do. Tenet, Justice League, so that's producer. So I guess we're looking at director, right? Oppenheimer, Tenet, Dunkirk, and no, Interstellar, Inception. I do love Interstellar. Dark Knight Rises. Oh, jeez. Dark. I'm not gonna get into it. Yeah. Oppenheimer. Number 2 is Inception. Number 3, Interstellar. Maybe Interstellar's number 2. I don't know, because I'm a science guy, right? That's what I love. But great question, Vivant. I mean, that's a great question. I don't know if you agree. Let me know. I mean, if they depict the Trojan horse scene in depth, then it's a lousy adaptation. Homer's epics did not describe the Trojan horse in any great detail. Yeah, and I agree. The whole Trojan horse thing has been, after 3,000 years, it becomes larger than life. And it's not as big of a deal, not in the Odyssey. So I don't think it is. I think it's a footnote. Honestly, I think it's a footnote. It's not a big deal in the story of the Odyssey. Odysseus. It's not a big story in the story of Odysseus. The story is about him getting back to Greece. This is, guys, understand, the Odyssey is some of the greatest frickin' story of all time. This is humanity's arguably top 3 stories of all time. And Christopher Nolan, if there's any director, writer who can maybe understand that the touch that he needs to put on this story has to be magnificent. And I think we're gonna get it. I think we will. Nolan treated exhibitors to an extended look at the Odyssey, which opened with Damon's Odysseus, shirtless on the beach with a burly beard. That was Matt Damon. He's been gone a long time and admits to Calypso, Charlize Theron. I love Charlize Theron. I do. I think she's a great female action star. I think she is highly versatile. That he can't remember anything before Troy. Did I have a wife, children, maybe a son, he asks? If I had a son, how old would he be now? Look, it's Hollywood. No one has sons in Hollywood. It's all daughters, motherfucker. Well, this is old Greece, right? So maybe it could be a son. Most of the footage revolved around the story of the horse, the famous Trojan horse attack, which the Greeks used as cover to enter the city of Troy at the end of the war. As the massive wooden figure washes up on the beach, I saw the picture of the horse washing up on the beach. Magnificent image. Absolutely magnificent image. Thousands of men have to pull the Trojan horse out of the water and onto the sand before they can wheel it into the city. In the intense and thrilling sequence, the Greeks are forced to stay quiet as the Trojans plunge swords. Excuse me. I'm at that point where I'm getting hiccups. Into the statue to see if anything was hidden, with one blade even slicing into a face of a hidden soldier. But I do think that's just a part of a small part of a very large story. Later, there are shots of Odysseus urging his soldiers to keep rowing through a storm. I did see that. That was actually one of the trailers. And then slinging arrows as they launch their full-scale attack in the dark of night. The footage ended with a quick shot of Odysseus and his soldiers as they face the man-eating Cyclops, Polymetheus, Polyphemus. You know what? If I wasn't live, I could say it. The massive brute picks up a man in his hand before the screen cuts to black. It's one of many mythical beings, Cyclops, sirens, and Circe among them, who Odysseus will encounter as he ventures to reunite with his wife Penelope and Hathaway and his son Telemachus. It's Greek names. Tom Holland. Along with Damon, Hathaway, Holland, and Theron, it's a great cast. The stacked ensemble includes Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy, Robert Pattinson, John Bernthal. John Bernthal is good at everything he does. Benny Safdie, John Leguizamo. Not a big John Leguizamo fan, okay? Not a big. What is he doing? Why is he? He's the guy that opens up his big fucking yap, right? About wrong people playing Hispanics. Well, why the fuck is he doing something that is Greek? You're not Greek, motherfucker. John Leguizamo, you're not Greek. Are you Greek? So why are you fucking playing a Greek? Just asking. So the next time someone else that maybe you don't agree should be playing, shut your stupid mouth. All right, Leguizamo? Shut your frickin' pie hole. All right? Jesus Christ, just shut the fuck up and be a nice guy. Stop bitching about everything. The one thing, you will hear me bitch about people who bitch. That's all I bitch about. I bitch about people who bitch about people. Otherwise, I got no problem with you. I don't. But John Leguizamo? That's my John Leguizamo impression. One more time. Who am I? Yeah, John Leguizamo. Yeah. and Himesh Patel. Given the robust call sheet, Nolan joked that there were too many stars to feasibly bring with him to CinemaCon. How do you go about bringing this to a modern audience? Obviously, we start with a cast. He did pretty good. Pretty good. I would not have chosen John Leguizamo. Could you tell? It'll be quicker for me to tell you who isn't in the movie. I would have brought them all here, but the massive weight of extraordinary talent would have collapsed the stage. Nolan described a treacherous filming process, which brought them all over the world as they shot across Morocco, Greece, Italy, Iceland, and Scotland. This is one of the great things. About being in the movie business. You go, look, they might somewhat, it sounds like they complain about shooting these hard takes, but everyone fucking loves it on set. I've been there. Everybody loves it on set. And it's hard sometimes. People standing there for 5-6 hours for makeup sometimes, standing in the bitter cold wind. And, sometimes it's brutal. What Leonardo DiCaprio went through with The Revenant. But when you're filming a movie, that's what you hope for. Because as a great actor, this is what's going to pull out a great performance. And you love it. You love the brutality of the elements. This has been an absolute nightmare to film in all the right ways, he said. We had an amazing time. He singled out his leading man, referring to Matt Damon as his partner on his journey. Matt Damon is a smart filmmaker. There's no way not to deny that Matt Damon is a smart filmmaker. Do smart filmmakers make mistakes? Yes, The Last Duel, which was the same story told 3 times. It was a bad screenwriting decision. We know that now, unequivocally. But to work with Matt Damon on a movie, I think would be pretty amazing. I think he has class. I think he is humble. I think there's a sense of hubris, a sense of understanding that there's always more to learn than there is that I know in a project. He was there up on the boats, up in the mountains, in the caves, in the beating sunshine, sideways rain, wind. Nolan said, "You'll be pleased to know how difficult it was. It was meant to be. That's the nature of the story. It's just like Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, guys. Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer was a home run. Perfect casting. Cillian Murphy. If you guys watch the what's the movie with the gang, what is it called? Oh my god, I just watched it about 2-3 weeks ago. Pinky Blinders. Pinky Blinders? You know what movie I'm talking about? Watch it. Great movie. Cillian Murphy kills it. Holy shit, how long is this freaking article? Oh, this is the last piece. The Odyssey will be the first movie shot entirely with IMAX cameras, a feat that Nolan calls his longest held ambition. His prior blockbuster, Oppenheimer, was particularly huge in IMAX, with the premium format contributing a massive 20% of overall box office grosses. Watch Dune 3, right? Because it has got a serious 3-week run at Christmas time in IMAX. Some movie lovers even cross state lines to see Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX, selling out those particularly large auditoriums for weeks. Nolan's other major films include the Dark Knight trilogy, which sucked. I thought it didn't suck. It's not as good as everyone thinks it is. It just isn't. Inception was good. Interstellar was good. I'll be happy to do a show on the Dark Knight trilogy. Happy to do it. Of course. I'm not going to do it again. As a boy, all I wanted to do was tell large-scale stories using that technology, putting the audience into the world. There's an IMAX that's like 5 minutes from me. It's one of the biggest. It's freaking huge. 5 minutes from me. And I spent many, many years trying to bring that to fruition, starting with The Dark Knight. You didn't do that well. Back when I was in my 30s, we shot the action sequences in IMAX, but we were never able to shoot the entire film. My crew did an incredible job figuring out how to do this for the first time. And guys, Odysseus, The Odyssey, is a movie I would say, go out on a limb, I would say it's a movie that everyone's got to see in IMAX or at least the theaters. You've got to see it. You have to. You have to. One sec, I'll be back. And I'm back. So yeah, you know, whenever a guy like Christopher Nolan, a director, writer, look, what makes being a screenwriter, being someone who's you know been in Hollywood for 20 years, what makes a guy like Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, Denis Villeneuve, George Lucas, some of the great directors, there's a whole lot more. Gore Verbinski, although his last one wasn't that good. Oh shit. There's a whole bunch. There's a lot of them. What makes them absolutely fantastic is the fact that they write what they direct. They're writers on top of being directors, and you need to be able to. And I'll be honest with you. I have a lot of very screenplays that a lot of people wanted to buy from me. I never sold them, because I always felt that I would do a better job of orchestrating from screenplay to visual. And I am working on, I almost got one done, except for the sort of the COVID collapse, but I am working on it again. It's The Sicken. And I'll give you guys updates as we go along, but The Sicken is one of my most winningest screenplays. It's a horror, a psychological horror. It's a complicated horror, but it has a lot of elements. But the whole idea is, if you're the writer and you're also the director, you are the auteur. I don't know if you ever heard of the saying, you're auteur. These are different. This is a different level of filmmaking. This isn't the bullshit crap you get from Star Wars. This isn't the garbage junk you're going to get with Doomsday. This is real. The highest level of filmmaking there is, of visual storytelling. It's about telling a story. All of this, guys, all of this is about telling a story. And what Hollywood does, keep it simple, right? We're going to tell a great story about a protagonist and an antagonist. There's going to be supporting characters, subplots, and we're going to make this thing turn into an emotional roller coaster for the audience. What did Hollywood do? They put in their bullcrap political ideology. You have to have so much gayness in a movie. Are you serious? I need to have this X amount of gayness? What if it has nothing to do with the story? Doesn't matter. You got to put some gay into it. This is Hollywood. Fuck you. Hollywood. How did Chris Pratt do it? It was kind of like this, right? It's kind of like that, something like that. That's what I'm talking about, motherfucker. Take it and shove it up your behind, Hollywood. I'm out of Hollywood. I'm out of the contest. I'll do my own shit on my own terms. So fuck you. I'm swearing too much tonight. I apologize. I'm swearing too much. I do apologize. We've got, what do we got? So that was the Odyssey. Great. You know what? There's going to be a lot more we're going to be talking about. You know what? I'm going to put a quick note. There's so much news tonight. I have got to do this. And I want to do it for, I am doing this. I'm doing this next segment. I'll tell you who I'm doing this for. Alyssa Sutherland. Alyssa Sutherland. Now, you might remember Alyssa Sutherland. She was in The Vikings. with Travis Fimmel. She was the queen, the one queen that eventually Travis Fimmel, Ragnar Lothbrok ended up marrying. But she was in. I'm gonna first do the. I'm gonna first do this. SpongeBob Kingpin, motherfucker. SpongeBob Kingpin. If you're watching Daredevil, this is Kingpin. He's SpongeBob. I can't tell the two apart. SpongeBob Kingpin. Oh man, I'm probably gonna call from D'Onofrio tomorrow. What the fuck are you doing? You want to box? You want to box with me, motherfucker? Just say, I mean, I was a real kickboxer for 8 years. You want to go in the ring with me? I'll fucking go with you. You want to go? Frickin' pretender. I'll show you Kingpin, SpongeBob. Just kidding. It's a joke. It's entertainment. Fucking relax. So anyway, Evil Dead Rise, guys, this was, if I could say, and if I scroll down, look at, but a lot of the top billing in IMDb, it has a different way of categorizing top billing at IMDb. The star of this movie was Alyssa Sutherland. Now, if you guys like horror, I love horror. I write horror. It's my favorite genres to write as a screenwriter. But I don't like hack and slash. I do a complex form of horror that really sets the mind ablaze, which I'm so excited, to get, one or two of my screenplays done. But she was the absolute highlight of this movie. Now, I don't like, the second it becomes this whole blood coming everywhere out of like Olympic pool-sized levels of blood, it became stupid. That's when it became, okay, geez, because this film is ruined. But I will not minimize the fact that this actress absolutely killed it in The Evil Dead Rise. Alyssa Sutherland just killed it. If you watch the movie, or if you have watched the movie, she was so good. She earned her stripes, and she was the reason this movie had legs, period. Now, so there is a trailer. So there's a trailer out. I'm going to play it. Let me. So this is the Evil Dead Burn 2026 trailer. I don't think she is in it.
They told me the book was gone, burned to ash, but they lied. I can still hear it breathing, even through the fire.
Oh, wait a sec.
The evil isn't hiding anymore.
Hold on a sec, guys. Give me 1 sec. I'm thinking, did I pick the wrong one? No, okay, that is the right one, right? I am playing the right one. My apologies. It's the right one. My apologies. I thought...
It's in the smoke. In the fire.
So if you remember Evil Dead Rise, this was the book. I forgot, what was the director's? I forgot the director's name. He did such a good job of adding Lee Cronin. Yeah, Lee Cronin, writer and director. Such a good job. There's a principle called Chekhov's gun. If you're going to have something that you use later in the movie as some sort of device that helps you in your quest to defeat the antagonist, you want to introduce that early on. He did such a great job. Every time something like a broom handle breaks and you're like, oh, geez, why? It's such a trivial thing, and they have it in the movie. It's not trivial. It's going to have something to do with the future of the movie as it progresses. And so the Evil Dead, I thought it was until the blood came in. The blood just ruined. It's like oceans of blood coming out of her mouth. It was. And the ending, okay, 2/3 of the movie was fantastic, okay? And I think a big thing about the Evil Dead is the feeling, the idea, like it's. I'm always a preface it as a screenwriter. I would write it a little differently, the same intensity, but a little more covert, if that's maybe the right word to use. So that is the Evil Dead burn right there, guys. That's part of the. I would, would I go see it in theater? Probably. If it's close to Halloween, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Evil Dead. And again, I will say once again, the Evil Dead Rise, Alyssa Sutherland. Guys, Alyssa Sutherland owned this movie. She made this movie. Her performance was awesome. That made this, her performance in this movie, The Evil Dead Rise, is worth the view. If you can handle some pretty scary horror, until the blood starts flowing out, which turns stupid and idiotic. The last third of the movie, this third act is basically stupid. Everything that leads up to it is excellent. And again, I would 100% credit Alyssa Sutherland. She was good in The Vikings with Travis Fimmel. Travis Fimmel. I highly, so we'll see what that, hopefully it comes out right around Halloween. So that is, there's so much, there's so many things that have been coming out. I'm gonna do a little bit of, let's see, Evil Dead. Okay, we've done the Evil Dead. We've done Christopher Nolan. Yep. So there's one more bit of news. There's one more bit of news, and I want to touch on some headlines before we before we close out the show. So there's first off. We've got SpongeBob Kingpin from Daredevil. That is your Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio SpongeBob. That is literally how I feel the Kingpin is in Daredevil. He's about as scary as SpongeBob. Can you wait? I don't know. He can't. I should have created some sort of a GIF. I could. I didn't have time. But no, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, seriously. Sometimes that make me laugh. Avengers Doomsday. I always have a lot to say about Doomsday. If you know my take on it, it's not good. Avengers Doomsday trailer shakes Cinecon. As Robert Downey Jr. unveils Doom first look, I don't think we get to see it. Doom came to CinemaCon Thursday when Marvel Studios showed off the first extensive look at Avengers Doomsday. It's multiverse mashup movie that brings Robert Downey Jr. back to the fold. Marvel Studios honcho Kevin Feige took to the stage in Las Vegas on... I know. On Thursday to close out Disney's presentation, Doomsday picks up where Avengers Endgame left off. Do you notice a problem? Can I repeat that? Doomsday picks up where Avengers Endgame left off, Feige said. So what was the last 6 years worth of your bullshit for? Doomsday picks up where Avengers Endgame left. Isn't that where phase is? Just a question. Isn't that what phase 4 was supposed to be? Wasn't phase 4 supposed to be pick up where Avengers Endgame left off? Isn't that was phase 4? And then we had phase 5. And now we have phase 6. Okay, so basically the last 6 years is garbage, but you got Ironheart in it, you got Miss Marvel in it, you got all the garbage crap waste of time characters that no one wanted, that no one cared for. People gave it a chance, but you still got them. Good job, Kevin Feige. Marvel Studios honcho Kevin Feige took the stage in Las Vegas on Thursday to close out Disney's presentation. Doomsday, Feige said, also expressing his excitement in introducing the Avengers to the X-Men. Wow, maybe that should have been done in 2020. I'm telling you, it's too fucking late. It's too late. I mean, you're coming now. Doomsday, now you're coming. Now you're telling us that Doomsday in 2026 picks up where Avengers Endgame left off in 2019. And you're expressing your excitement for introducing the Avengers to the X-Men. So what was the Eternals about? What was... everything is so unmemorable. Ironheart. What was all the Agatha? What was all that BS for the last 6 years that you put us through? You put fans through. And then while you're putting fans through it, you're also throwing them under the bus, which you had no problem to do. And now you want the fans to show up and buy tickets to put their ass in the seats for, oh, no, we're just going to go from Endgame right to Doomsday. Brilliant. That's just brilliant, Kevin. Kevin, you're smart. Oh, I mean, I gotta... Oh, I had to refresh my screen. My apologies. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so my screen was stuck. So I had to refresh the screen, and I got it fixed. Doomsday returns directors Anthony Russo and Joe Russo to the Marvel fray, which they spent $100 million to do. $100 million. As they, this was the only thing you had left in your hat. The only rabbit you had left in your hat. As they helmed the movie from a script by Michael Waldron and Stephen McFeely, which obviously has been so good because now you've got to do 2 months worth of reshoots, which is basically reshooting an entire movie. Joe Russo said of Doom, he's not simply a villain. He's one of the most complex Marvel characters. Yeah, because you're not sure if he's Dr. Doom or if he's Iron Man. You're not sure. He's always 3 moves ahead. Look, it's really tough. It's really when you're the one writing it. It's not hard to make your antagonist 3 moves ahead. You just fucking write it that way. It's not a big deal. If you want to make your protagonist look utterly stupid, That's the way. At that, Downey took the stage to the tune of the Rolling Stones' "Sympathy for the Devil." Like, that's never been done. Like, right? That's never been done. "Sympathy for the Devil." It's just all regurgitated bullshit. Everything they do with Doomsday is regurgitated crap. The star, who was known for his previous Marvel Cinematic Universe role as Tony Stark's Iron Man, exclaimed, "I couldn't have imagined reuniting with this amazing team, let alone as a new character. Could you imagine that someone doesn't say, 'Oh, mate, you look a little bit like Tony Stark, mate. You know, you look like doesn't his daughter or someone say, Daddy, 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 Pepper Potts, Tony?' No. The team then revealed a trailer that provided the first look at Downey's. Now you guys know I am relentless in my unabashed bashing of this movie. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters, Chris Hemsworth's Thor tells his fellow heroes about the threat of doom. Mark my words, we're going to need a miracle. All right. The footage ended with Chris Evans surprising Hemsworth, who says it's not possible. As Evans grabs Thor's hammer, Evans then took the stage and quipped about doom. This guy, I don't like it. This marked the first extensive footage of Doomsday following brief teasers. They weren't even teasers. I guess you could call them released in late 2025 and earlier this year, focusing on Steve Rogers, Thor, and the X-Men, as well as one centering on Shuri and Wakanda friends. Thank God. The thing was basically a glorified pilot and a cook. So hopefully he's going to be making some food for the rest of the Avengers. From the combined, the teaser generated 1 billion views online. Downey's return as Doom was not revealed in those teasers. He briefly appeared as the character in Fantastic Four First Steps, but his face was not shown. Hitting theaters December 18th, Doomsday is top of mind for the gathered crowd. Theater, yada, yada, yada. That's just the marketing side. I don't know. I don't know if we learned anything much from. But anyway, when something comes up, oh yeah, wait, just waiting. Oh, right, some of the comment. Did I miss these? I think I did. If they depict the Trojan horse, we did that. Yeah. Vavander says, I've been told that the Sack of Troy produced surprisingly few great babies. Why, you ask? Because the Greeks were wearing their Trojans. Well said. I highly recommend The Return. It's a low-tech retelling of the Odysseus, Return to Ithaca, so it's called The Return, starring Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. Worth your time. So Vavander, guys, if you got a pen and paper, write it down. Low-tech retelling of Odysseus, starring Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes is a brilliant actor. And Juliette Binoche. Worth your time. That's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. And the last thing, you know what? Yeah. What I wanted to do as well. Let me do this here. Look at, some of this news. Let me refresh this. There's been so much news coming out today. Jacob Elordi takes flight in his first trailer with Ridley Scott's The Dog Stars. There's Avengers Doomsday. We just touched on that. Disney Animation's Hexed finds its cast. Not big. But there's some. Dwayne Johnson gets emotional while debuting new Momoa live action footage. Not a big fan of it, so I'm not going to cover it. Mandalorian and Grogu. Jon Favreau brings final trailer. First 17 minutes to Favreau. We're going to be covering this on Saturday, guys. On the Saturday, Pop Rageous Live at Saturday night. A lot of these stories that we're watching right now, we're going to be covering that on Saturday. Meryl Streep's Miranda Priestley is back in all her savage glory in the new Devil Wears Prada 2. Supposed to be a good movie. Not a big thing for me. Sydney Sweeney thriller The Caretaker lands David Bruckner as director. Thriller and Blank, yeah. Johnny Depp, we covered that. Brad Pitt survival movie Heart of the Beast launches tense first trailer. Again, on Saturday, we're going to be covering that. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. The news is like fast and furious. It's hard to keep up with it. Today, like I had an entire show planned. I had to put it all off to the side. All this stuff came in. Aragorn. Jamie Dornan. Like I say, I'm telling you guys, he won a Razzie. I'm skeptical. The fact that so many people are just like off in a circle jerk, say, "Oh my God, he's fucking amazing," scares me. That's the first thing that scares me. I am not convinced he is the best choice. And I'm happy to be the first one. If I'm the first one to say it, I am not convinced Jamie Dornan is the best choice for Aragorn. I haven't seen the audition tapes. We'll see. We'll see. Andy Serkis is not a dumb guy. Andy Serkis is a very good filmmaker. You almost have to give him the benefit of the doubt, but look, they did Black Snape. I think in looking at it, in the Harry Potter, the whole Black Snape thing, is it going to hurt Harry Potter? Yes. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle it in the TV show. If they change the character to be politically correct so that they don't say certain things because it's not politically expedient to treat Black Snape like that because of his melanin, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. If they treat him just like any other character, still not a good move. There was a lot of talk about Black Aragorn, right? There was a lot of talk about Black Aragorn. Could have happened. It could have happened. It didn't. So I guess from that perspective, we can say, well, you know what? Okay, you know what? Maybe it's that, you know. Race swapping, sometimes race swapping works. I will point to Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, who kicked ass. Sometimes it works if it's genuine, if it works. But when you take an iconic character like Aragorn, even Snape, you could argue Snape, right? The fandom is so... there is an... And when you do such dramatic changes, and it feels like political expediency, it feels like it was done because of political reasons or for reasons that you're doing Hollywood's bidding because a movie or TV show needs a certain amount of gay people and this and that or everything. Well, you do it at the expense of the fan. Like you do it for... So... It could have been a situation that could have been, I mean, if they would have went that direction, it would have been a disaster. And I'll say this again. Andy Serkis is, he is a smart filmmaker. Andy Serkis, he is a smart filmmaker. Dobby is not Gollum. Dobby is not Gollum. Dobby is not Gollum. No. Oh my God, guys. Come on, give me a break, right? Who is anyone kidding? So anyway, guys, that is the show. We've covered a lot of things. I'm looking for. I am really looking forward to The Evil Dead because I'm as a screenwriter, I love writing sophisticated horror. Hopefully, it is a good movie. But it's space. Look, we covered Spaceballs 2. We've got Top Gun 3. We've got the Odyssey. We've got Johnny Depp coming out with Christmas Carol. We've got. So many things. Anyway, it's interesting. A lot of news on Saturday. Guys, I hope you will join me on Saturday night for Pop Rageous Live. It's Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. My name is Danny Alex. This is Pop Rageous, and it has been an absolute blast spending time with you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. It's Friday tomorrow, my friends. It is Friday. And I hope you enjoy your Friday. And I will see you in about 45 hours' time. Cheers. Oh, sorry. You're still there.
Yeah, baby. Are you not entertained?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know it was your turn.
You! Look at me!
Yes.
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no sex. Yes. These go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder?